gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. A gain of 28 yards there and give him a first down.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not street.
And he will take it on in for a Giant touchdown. Alvin Kamara with his second touchdown here in this first half. And the Giants add on to their lead. And always a good first half when you can hit pay dirt twice.
And it never hurts to have that good feeling as the game moves on. Just think about halftime. If that's all he gets, he'll just sit there at the half and think, all right, 2 already. I can get some more. I can get some more. And it'll be encouraging his offensive line to create some space.
So they elect to pass there on the 2-point try. Sometimes could prove risky. There it worked out.
Yeah, and I love how you bring up that it can prove risky, because if you get it intercepted and they return it, that's 2 points for the defense, but not on that play.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This will make it into the end zone, and it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt to return. Out comes the Washington offense as we get a look at the playoff race in the NFC. And I tell you, 4 weeks still to go, and everything is wide open, and it's fun.
And I know we always talk about, well, if the playoffs were to begin today, and then we kind of go, okay, but they're not. Let's see how it plays out. Wouldn't it be fun to play with this playoff lineup right now? Because to me, just about anyone can win this whole thing out of this grouping we currently have. And by the time we get there, it may look entirely different.
Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards. From the gun, it's Wilson. And the Giant rush gets home as down he goes.
Right now.
Lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
Hey, pick your game up. Mike's 56. Mike's 51.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And that play goes nowhere. He's met behind the line, and a penalty flag may add insult to injury. So he was holding from that left tackle position.
Everyone tries to keep their hands inside when they're blocking ever since they liberalized the rules where you can extend them out. But sometimes they get out a little wide, and they get detected grabbing some cloth.
And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28.
To number 33. Brings up 3rd down.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Wilson. And he's got his man in stride. Complete. And they'll get him down at about the 37. Well short of the first.
That's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath by all means.
Washington going to send out their punter as he'll kick it away for the second time. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. And a great job on special teams to down it, as this will be marked out inside the 5-yard line. The offense and Alvin Kamara heading back onto the field. And he's found the end zone twice, and now I'm guessing he's thinking, hey, let's find it 3 times.
And you got to figure from the defensive perspective, that is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And they will start this drive with just terrible field position, backed up inside their own 5.
But we have seen teams be bold here and take shots, right? Sometimes you go max protection, make it a 1-receiver route, and take your shot downfield and see what happens. And occasionally, we've seen success occur.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. 2nd down and inches. He's going deep for Brown. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And they finally take him down, but not before he reaches the 43.
A gain of 43 yards. First down, Giants.
On first down. He'll drop to throw. He's going deep and this is caught. And he will take it on in for a giant touchdown. Hollywood Marquise Brown with his second touchdown of the game, number 8 on the season. And the Giants have got it on cruise control. The Giant offense going to stay on the field as they'll go for 2. They'll look to throw, and he's got it. They add on more, a little salt in the wound. 2-point conversion makes this lead even bigger. So they're able to throw it in for the 2-point conversion, and sometimes that can be a risky play, but they got it.
Yeah, you always have to be careful here because if you do get it intercepted, it's returned by the defense, that's 2 points for them, but he identified an open target and put it right on him.
And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line.
At their own 25-yard line.
Russell Wilson now gears up to lead the offense again. In second quarter, they're down big already. He's struggling as well. They've got to find something here. He's got to find something on this drive.
And sometimes you take out all that extra pressure on yourself, and maybe you have to disperse it a little bit. Lean on some other people, lean on your teammates. Find someone who can take the pressure off and get the ball in their hands for a while.
Or this, if he doesn't, this is getting Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. And who's got it? The Giants. The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down. He'll look to throw. A quick target here, complete to Metcalf. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. That one good for 10 yards. And it'll be second and very short. To the end zone, but knocked away and incomplete. Hollywood Brown, the intended receiver. And it'll bring up third down.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating the defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
On third and short, this is Janovich. He didn't get the touchdown, but he did get the first down as he's tackled at the 1. A 5-yard gain, and now they're set up first and goal.
Third and inches, they just had it.
And he will take it on in for a giant touchdown. Andy Janovich with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And this offense is running away with this one.
That score that they just gave up there, that's a tough one for their defense to swallow because they've had a tough time through the first 2 quarters. They really were determined to get a stop there, unable to do so. That makes their comeback hopes that much more difficult.
The Giant offense going to stay on the field as they'll go for 2. They'll try and throw for it. And this is going to be caught. Well, not sure about the need to go for 2, but they get it and extend this lead out even further. So they go with a pass there on the 2-point try and able to convert it, Charles.
And a good job by the offense figuring out their 2-point play and using it well. It's interesting how people are using the strategy nowadays, though, isn't it?
It really is, and I don't know how much that particular play factored in, but with the PAT moving back in 15-16, that kind of changed things, didn't it?
It's really a part of everyone's strategy now. When I talk with coaches and when we sit with them, they always talk about they actually have 2-point periods in practice now, something they never really did before.
At their own 25-yard line.
Time again to see Terry McLaurin in the Washington offense. With them losing here in the second quarter and his limited productivity so far, you'd have to think they're going to try to look to him a little bit more, right?
I would guess you would start to see maybe some quick screens, some hitches, anything to get the ball in his hands quickly and let him try and do some damage after the catch. Or maybe just flip some formations and keep him isolated where it's more of a one-on-one route and get the ball to him.
I say just 4 verts, right?
Hey, why not? 4 verts, one of the best routes in football. Hard to cover each guy all the way along the route.
So far, just 1 catch for him. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. That catch good for only a couple.
Second and 8 at the 27-yard line.
Final play of the half. It's Wilson. And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game.
All right, Brandon, we'll get back to you and Charles in a bit. But first, let's get to some of these scores around the NFL here in a busy Week 14. We'll start over in Texas at AT&T Stadium in Arlington.
And just like that, on we head to half number 2. Washington down on the scoreboard, but they are getting the football first here, and we are back underway on EA Sports. Fielded a couple yards into the end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. They'll start the third quarter here on the ground. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves them with 2 to go on second down. 8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2.
Brings up 2nd and 2 at the 32-yard line.
Play action. Now Wilson. Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble.
Russell Wilson sacked. A fumble on the play.
We talk a lot about setting the tone to start the game. Well, you want to start the tone right in the third quarter as well, and nearly lost a football there in their first drive.
And sometimes we overdo it when we...
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 36. And this return is going to be halted right around the 28-yard line. The first half did not go their way, and that's not going to help matters at all. An interception here on the opening drive of the third quarter.
Obviously not what they were striving to accomplish. But you know who's really upset on their team? The defense. Already trailing. They're going to be counted on to try and hold that score at least where it is.
The offense and Alvin Kamara heading back onto the field. And we have seen a decline in the numbers. Where does the fault lie? Just him? Maybe the guys up front? Combination?
Well, as you and I both know, it's almost always a collective deal. But in this case, I think maybe the offensive line got a little overconfident. They had blocked so well in the first half, picked up on what the defense was doing. I think we've seen an adjustment now that they have not picked up on, and now they're being a little bit overwhelmed.
And that one goes incomplete. He's maybe lucky it wasn't a fumble as he got hit as he threw it.
And those two just haven't been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect them to have more completions to him in this game.
On third down, he'll drop to throw. And he can't quite pick it. No interception so far. That probably should have been their first, but at least it's fourth down.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
And this one is right through. And that will just add 3 more to a lead that's already out of hand.
7.
They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback.
10. At their own 25-yard line.
Now we get another look at Washington on offense. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is Just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10.
56. Mike, 56. Right there, 56. Go.
Out of the gun, here's Wilson. Quick hitter here, it's complete. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
56 to Mike, boys. 56. Check 56.
Play action, it's Wilson. Wilson hit, it's loose, it's out, fumble. And now time will be called here as Washington has an injured player down on the field. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. So possession still theirs, but now they face a 3rd down.
Rap. 56 to Mike. 56 is to Mike. I'm coming.
From midfield now, here's Wilson rolling to his left. He can run for it, and he will. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. He opted to go with his scramble, gets 2 yards, and now it's 4th.
And defensively, they had an extra defensive back on the field, their nickel package, and it made a difference. All the receivers were blanketed, so he tried to run for it, but he came up just a bit short.
That one sails out of bounds. The side judge will walk it off. And he says it went out of bounds at the 9-yard line. Nice punt. So well done there. And these punters, they get more specialized and better each and every year, don't they?
They sure do. And now it's really not the American punters. It's the Australian punters with their kicking academies and that flat drop and just kind of kicking the nose of the football. They're able to almost stop it where they want to, like a good golfer can check one up.
The intended receiver was DK Metcalf. And now it's 2nd down.
2nd and 10.
Now Kamara, shedding the tackle, still on his feet. He'll be upended at the 18. That's a very helpful pickup of 9 after the play began at the 9. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1. Again, it's Kamara. Kamara's got the first down and then some. And he'll take this all the way up to the 38-yard line.
The ball carrier. Tackle made at the 38.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. And he's a long ways into Washington territory before hitting the turf. Charles, did I just hear that right? They declined the personal foul. 3 yards, they just declined them.
And I have to think that the official is thinking to himself, did I just hear that correctly, that you declined that one? All I can think of is someone on the field got confused. Because it had to, because you're going to take the yards on that penalty each and every time.
It'll be a pickup of 8 and a good first step there with 2nd and goal coming up. 2nd and goal from the 1. They'll run it with Kamara. And he is in. Touchdown, Giants. Taking it in from a yard out as his guys continue to pour it on. He keeps carrying the ball into the end zone, and in this one, he's sort of carrying the team on his back.
He's the reason that they lead right now, no question about it. And you talk about on his back, he's not minding the extra weight at all, is he? Carrying that just as lightly as he does the football. What a great performance so far.
Those 3 touchdowns, it's got him in the lead. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Now this will make it into the end zone. And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. Washington ready to try again on offense. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, That is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble.
Russell Wilson sacked. Good job over there, buddy. Fumble on the play.
Much like a running back going through the line, quarterbacks have to be aware of protecting the football as well. He left it exposed that time, wound up having it knocked free, but fortunately, had an alert teammate who was able to get it.
On second down now, Livingston. And they won't fare much better here as he maybe gets back to the line. Nothing there, no gain, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 15.
It's now 3rd down and long.
Now Wilson. He's got his man on the crossing route. And he'll go out near midfield at the 49. Boy, a nice play there as they wind up converting on 3rd and 15. And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. On first down, Wilson. And Wilson's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked up by Deion Jones, the linebacker. And he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 and a Giants touchdown. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them into the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
The defense more than did its job. Now the offense is summoned onto the field as they'll go for 2. They'll drop to throw. And this is going to be caught. So add 2 more to the lead as they continue to pour it on here in the 4th.
But I guess when you're hot, you're hot. I mean, I would just go ahead and take the extra point and move on. But apparently they've got something to prove. Almost feels like something was said this week, and they wanted to make sure that they laid it on them in this game.
This will make it into the end zone. And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25.
25-yard line.
Now this offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. Remember, they have won 3 straight, but getting to 4 straight does not appear to be in the cards as they are in a big 4th quarter hole. Back to the air, Wilson after the pick 6. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. Yeah, this will leave them a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down.
Brings up second.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes.
Russell Wilson sacked.
Let's go!
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. From the gun on 3rd down, Wilson flushed out right. He may try and run for this. The decision to tuck and run gets him 3, but that's not enough. Now it's 4th.
Down at the 30.
Well, he was looking at a dime formation, 6 defensive backs on the field, so he's looking for anyone to throw the football to, but he didn't have anyone open, so he took off and ran for it, but he came up just short, and that brings up 4th down.
That'll go as a 46-yard punt with a return of 7. And out will come the offense as they take over. New York set to take the field. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and I
we
enjoy.
share that.
We enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but in all seriousness, the performances that we've seen this year, we've seen a bunch of great ones. And it's going to be hard to parse who's going to win the MVP?
Yeah, it really is.
Is it going to be a runner? Is it going to be a thrower? Can a defender finally win it this season?
This is caught inside the 15. Touchdown, Giants. Marquise Brown, 72 yards. And the Giants just continue to pour it on. A nice throw there by the second-year quarterback.
And I don't believe that was the kind of play he would have made as a rookie, because usually your rookie season is a continuation of your college days. A lot of one read, and if you don't have it, you just take off and go. Now he's settled in the pocket a little bit more, reading the field and getting to his second and sometimes third progression. That was a nice play.
Personally, I'd rather see him kick the extra point there than to go for two, but it almost feels like there's a story within the story here. I mean, this isn't college. You know, size of victory, that matters in those games. Here, all you have to do is win by 1 point. That's all that you need. Instead, they go for it, get two. You got some pretty ticked off folks on the other sideline now.
And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25.
At their own 25-yard line.
Now this offense ready to head back out there. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
And he can't get away from the pressure the Giants get there.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
Another try after the first down sack. Wilson, and a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll be about a full yard shy of the 20 at the 19-yard line.
Third down.
Washington on third down. It's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. This is 3rd and 16.
56 to Mike. Time to go, night.
From the gun, Wilson. Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. And who's got it? The Giants.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, you'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. Back on offense, New York gets set to take over. And they have to be feeling pretty good. Comfortable fourth quarter lead as they take over following the fumble recovery. Coming up on the final 2.5 minutes. And boy, has it been fun to watch this offense operate. Quite the display, and now they look to polish it off. It'll be intercepted. Picked by Kendall Fuller.
The first down pass.
CD, I know it's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, second year, as you noted, on-the-job training. So he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
Right there, 56. Mike 56, Mike 56. Let's go, dude.
After the interception, here's Wilson. That's taken in by Stewart. And he's brought down at the 24 after a gain of 4. They'll contain him to just 4. Second down.
Now 2nd and 6 at the 24-yard line.
Mike 56.
Now it's Wilson. Over the middle, complete to Tate. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line.
Washington.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Washington with the football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. A Another nice gain, 16 yards there and a first down again. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are...
Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. And the Giants have it. It's picked up. And they take possession 2 yards away from midfield at the 48-yard line. And I don't know that that fumble is going to matter a whole lot. You look at the deficit here in the fourth. It doesn't matter. The coach on the sideline still scratching his head.
Yeah, not only scratching his head, but probably writing a note or two about we're going to address this come practice next week because maybe that's the reason we're down this far. Doesn't matter at this point, but being sloppy throughout the game, not going to help them.
And give them another 6. It's caught for a touchdown, and the blowout continues. Even though they've got this big advantage, Charles, they are not taking their foot off the gas pedal right now.
Well, I think what we're seeing is the result of all their great preparation and great practice time during the week. And even though it seems like this is a great chance to pull people back and maybe, you know, not try and score a few more.
To the lead as they continue to pour it on here in the fourth.
3, Washington 7.
Come on, let's go.
I think this is just going to be a function of the times we live in now. Very similar to the bat flip in baseball. Everyone's got to start to get comfortable with this. But to me, this is just rubbing it in. You got a big lead. Go ahead and take the extra point. One thing to keep in mind, though, karma's still out there, and sometimes it has a way of catching up with you.
And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback.
Their own 25-yard line.
A look at Washington as they come onto the field. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that, and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team, and we were losing late in a game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Hard to believe his first catch of the game defensively. They bottled him up. That's why they're well on their way to victory.
Put your best cover guy on him and then change the coverages behind him throughout the game.
Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. And the Giants have it. It's picked up. 20, 10, and that should just about do it. They return it to the end zone, sealing it with a defensive touchdown.
Well, there's just about a minute left in this game, and they're still taking it to the end zone. And you know they could have taken a knee there, but they decided to play this one all the way out. And I think their philosophy is, we're going to give you everything we've got. If we just go ahead and take a knee now, we're actually showing you disrespect that way, like taking pity on you. They're not about to do that to their opponent.
Looking to throw, and this is going to be caught. So add 2 more to the lead as they continue to pour it on here in the fourth.
91, Washington.
And boy, things switched on a dime here. The fumble recovery for the touchdown and also a 2-point try on top successful.
That feels like a momentum call. Pick it up on a fumble return, take it the other way for a touchdown. That's demoralizing for a team to have it happen against them. So the offense just says, you know something? Let's add to it. Pile on top, go for 2 now while their heads are down.
First and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. Let's just be frank. They're playing for pride at this point.
That's all that's left because victory, not a chance now. And I can't wait to see how they actually go about doing it because there are a lot of people watching the body language of the guys on the field.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Giants have it. It's picked up. And that might just cement it. A return for a late touchdown. So the big fella gets on the scoreboard with a return for a touchdown. Good thing he didn't have to go too far, though.
You know the trainers were very happy about that. Imagine having to go get him in the end zone, escort him to the bench, and give him the oxygen. They were loving the fact that he got in without having to run very far.
They're going to look to throw. And this is going to be caught. So add 2 more to the lead as they continue to pour it on here in the fourth. So a big play there. Not only the fumble return for the touchdown, then they get the 2-point try. And, you know, for the defense, though, They were just over there sitting on the field. They had to rush out to try to defend that.
You know, it's funny. They actually practice situations that they call sudden change when the team turns it over. I'll guarantee you no one practices a fumble return for a touchdown like that, and now someone goes for 2. Really good strategy by them putting them in that situation.
Over offensively. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Use that as ammo.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling again.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
Throwing again on second down. Wilson, now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be third down.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
Wilson now to throw on third down. And a throw there going to be incomplete. Good coverage that time by the linebacker, Deion Jones.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a fourth down. Well done.
And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Shrugs the tackle.
Nice.
A big kick that time, 52 yards. And control of the football, switching hands here with very little time remaining in this contest. New York ready to go again offensively. And this team continues to stake its claim as Super Bowl favorites. They are now eyeing an 8th straight win as they begin this drive here in the fourth quarter. Now it looks like he'll throw here. He's going deep for Brown. That'll be incomplete as the clock will stop with 14 seconds remaining. They were trying to go to Brown once again, but it's going to be second down.
Brings up 2nd and 10 at the 20-yard line.
He's going deep for Brown. And that is caught one-handed. Oh, my, he pulled it in.
Complete.
And here come the whistles and a timeout with 7 seconds left.
And the Giants first down.
So the field flips here as they'll go to work at the 20 now on 1st and 10.
52's the mic right here over there, right? 52's the mic. Stop your whining. After 60, after 60. Hey, turn it out,
Delay of game, offense. Oh, man, you can't do that.
And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5.
Still first down.
The delay of game backs him up 5, 1st and 15.
Mike's 50, Mike's 50. Here we go, let's bring it. Let's bring it. Check. Switch.
They'll look to throw here. He's going to go up top for the end zone. And he's going to look that one in one-handed. What a catch for the touchdown.
Well, this is long since over, and some might see this as overkill, but remember, this is a team that puts on the hard hats, grabs the lunch pail, and tells everyone, we're going to give you a full 60 minutes. And that's exactly how they're playing this one out.
The Giant offense going to stay on the field as they'll go for 2. They'll look back to throw again. And this is going to be caught. So add 2 more to the lead as they continue to pour it on here in the 4th. So they go with a pass, and it works there on the 2-point try. Charles, just in general, what are your thoughts passing versus running on 2-point conversion? Situational?
It is situational, and you have to know your team. What is your strength? Because so many people think you have to throw the ball in a 2-point conversion, but the stats will tell you that running it is about as proficient. So know your team and go to your strength.
4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of an anecdotal type of a number, kind of like when the coaches tell us, well...
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off around the 41. And he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 and a Giants touchdown.
Time to go to work. Let's go.
Defensively, they've had their way in this one. That pick 6 makes that scoreboard even more lopsided.
I remember talking with a guy in the league, and I said, what do you do when the game's like this? You know, it's pretty much over. You ready to go to the bench and hang out? He said, oh, heck no. I want to stay on the field. I might get some stats. I might get a pick or 2.
You like being out there at the end of these wide margins.
When they have to throw it, that gives you more opportunities to go get it.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. With that, we sign off from Landover.
Thank you.